Let's learn about coronary circulation. The left coronary artery arises from the left ostia from the aorta, right coronary from the right ostia. So the left circulation is laced. L stands for the left main, A is the left anterior descending, S is the septal branches, C is the left circumflex, and D are the diagonals. The right coronary has the RPM, that is the right coronary artery, the posterior descending, and the marginal branches. The left coronary divides into anteriorly the left anterior descending and the diagonals, and posteriorly as the left circumflex. The right coronary divides as the marginals and the posterior descending posteriorly. The posterior descending in 10 to 15% arises from the circumflex, while in 85 to 90% arises from the right coronary. The area of supply, the left anterior descending supplies the left atrium, the anterior part, the left ventricle, anterior part, the septum and the bundle branches, and 1/3 of the apex. The second branch is your left circumflex, which goes posteriorly. It supplies the posterior part of the left atrium, the posterior part of left ventricle. In few of them, the left circumflex gives a branch to the SA node. Moving to the right side, the right coronary supplies the anterior part of the right atrium and the ventricle and majority of the apex. Posteriorly, the posterior descending artery supplies the posterior part of the right atrium, ventricle, and also a part of the left ventricle. 50 to 60% of them, the SA node is supplied by the posterior descending. Now the diagonals are the branches of the LAD. So D, diagonals. And marginal is a branch of RCA. So let's revise. The left main divides as your left coronary artery, the left anterior descending, and the left circumflex posteriorly. The left anterior has the diagonals and circumflex can make a PDA. The right main divides as your right coronary and your posterior descending. The right coronary has the marginal branches. So the left anterior descending supplies the anterior part of the left atrium and the left ventricle, the septal branches, which also goes to the bundle branches, the 1/3 part of the apex, and also the papillary muscles. The left circumflex supplies sometimes the sinoatrial node, the left atrium, the posterior part, and the lateral wall of the left ventricle. If the posterior descending artery arises from the left circumflex, then all of the left side of the heart is supplied by the left main artery and its branches. The right coronary artery supplies the SA node in few of the people, the right atrium, the right ventricle, the AV node, and the rest of the apex. The posterior descending artery supplies the right atrium, the right ventricle, the posterior part of my left atrium and left ventricle. The diagonal and the marginal are nothing but the terminal branches, and they supply the terminal ends of the atrium and the ventricle. Stay tuned for more such series.